Oh, Magnificent Siwag. Woo! We got another tag. We got another tag in. The last time we had this lovely storyteller on this lovely channel. We had the house that no one built, which you guys can check in, and I finally will have time to upload it before Halloween. Perfect. For you guys who want to check the
Ooh.
previous mini
Nice.
campaign. But now we have another mini campaign to present and have a wonderful time with you guys. It is, I believe, one of the systems that was in both bucket lists of mine and as well as, well, Toby. Uh, I've always wanted to
Mm-hmm.
experience a Wraith the Oblivion game. It's very fascinating to me. Confusing but fascinating. And the I think the first time I brought it up, Toby lit up a Wraith game. And that is how
That's
this
true. That's
happened.
true.
We were witness to just Toby lighting up at the mention of Wraith. He's the go-to GM for World of Darkness, changing the dreaming, and now Wraith. So we're gonna be experiencing a more or less stories about death. Yay! Um, so here with us in this lovely actual play, of course, is our storyteller, Toby. Tag
Mm.
sessions across different channels, and of course, John, who is part of Level Up Games. You can also find him as YronHand in other geek spots. You might find this nerd in the wild somewhere. So, all right. So, for further ado, I'll give Toby the floor to walk us through, especially at the start of this. The usual content warnings, yada yada. All the fun stuff.
Yes. So, hi, I'm Toby, and I'll be the storyteller for this session. This is a limited series campaign, so I think we're doing 6 sessions, right?
Yes.
Did we agree to 6 or 3? I forget.
6. We initial
Six.
3 on September, and then 3 in October.
Right, right. So this will be using the oh my god, I forgot the official term for it now. It's classic, right? They call it the classic World of Darkness now.
Yep.
Chronicles.
Not because they used to
Chronicles.
say the original World of Darkness,
Yeah.
Or
or one
old
and all
world.
that. Yeah, but I think now the official term is the classic World of Darkness, Wraith the Oblivion system, a game system which is infamous in many ways because some feel it's a unplayable system given how dark the content is and how it tackles on very um, um, I guess you could say melodramatic content.
Yeah.
But it's one of the games I really love, and I'm very happy to finally now have a chance to run it for you two. Um, if I remember correctly, Mars, when we first discussed the Wraith, I was like, wait, we have to play other games first to make sure you're okay with my gaming style
Nah.
before we could dive into Wraith.
Yeah. We're
Only
good.
because I tend to be different in how I approach my games, and those who've played or watched those episodes can see what that means. Um, as always, we're using safety tools for this game. We have lines and veils that we all filled up and marked down. Among our lines are COVID-19 pandemics, kink stuff, sexual assault, and spiders. We will have um, veiled in place for harm to animals, babies, and children. And then we shall always ask first whenever we touch on religion, romance, and any ING. But otherwise, um, I think I'm trying to be ambitious here because I want this to be a cozy Wraith game.
Pwede. Pwede
Wow.
yan. Pwede
Cozy in the
yan.
sense that Wraith as written still follows the usual lines of the World of Darkness, wherein the characters are the small fish in a big political hierarchy, right?
Right.
In Vampire, you have the elders. In Werewolf, you have the different tribes.
Right.
So here in Wraith, there's typically the hierarchy, and with the hierarchy are the guilds and so on and so forth. The threat of the Malfeans and the specters and all that. But I'm thinking for this session, for this campaign, we can be a bit more cozy. It's more about the human side of death and how the rates interact with that. Which is why one of the things we all agreed upon was that all the main character deaths are accidents.
Yeah,
Hmm.
It's not
exactly.
murder. It's not a conspiracy. It's not because of some supernatural thing. You both will be playing characters who died because of honest to goodness accidents.
Yep.
You just
So it's not. So our story will not be why did I die, but
Yeah.
more I'm dead. So what happens next?
Yes.
Hence, cozy Ray.
Yes, cozy raid. Let's go for it. Like
and
I'm a,
very interesting.
indeed.
Okay. So I guess to start off, basic idea is we will be playing in the modern day. There was interest in trying to touch on some cultural notes. Would you like to add on to that, Mars, on
Oh,
the
yeah.
goal for this session?
Um, my brain derped for that, but I guess it's just like I'm also happy with this kind of storyline because yes, World of Darkness is the keyword very dark, but this storyline is also a bit more like homey. I felt like it's very homey as it kind of hit close to home in a sense that it's going through a live experience as a like a Filipino Chinese kid going through like and the
Mm-hmm.
experience of schooling as a Phil Chai. Like I hope people will find it very endearing and like at least somewhat relatable or somewhat like they can see a glimpse of like what it's like to go through those kinds of cultural aspects, and I'm very happy that Toby was willing to touch the subject on that because I really love more personalized stories like you said. We're not focusing on the
Right.
bigger lore, bless you. We're not focusing on like the
That's
bigger
it.
lore, the hierarchies, but we're making it more human, a more personalized aspect. So uh is the goals related to passions or just in general what the goal is for the for
Yeah, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. With that in mind, I will already state this early. I am no cultural expert. I will be bringing the stories in from anecdotal and experiential things that I went through myself. If there are any inaccuracies or any things that seem exaggerated, please understand it is simply for the sake of storytelling and not meant to offend, insult, or deal harm. Um, so just wanted to make sure that's clear.
yeah, yes.
um, I will probably mess up the pronunciation of some names and terms as
It's
well.
all
So
good. It's all
Fine.
good.
okay, so our main mini campaign is about a Filipino Chinese school that has lost two of its faculty members, a fresh teacher and a up and coming management head. But their stories are not over, for even in death, their stories can be magnificent.
Char.
And with that beautiful intro, which you shared, Mars, perhaps each of you can give a brief intro on your character concepts.
Ooh. Wait, I will swap
Sige.
real quick to
Go
low fi.
Mars.
What the hole? What the hole?
You're the
You're higher on the
Ah,
screen.
ay, ganon,
you're also
ganon.
on, yeah, this is your channel.
Ay, poet. Okay, so the concept, I mean, the character concept and the character I'll be playing for this campaign is Amalia, Ali, shorthand Ali Camay. She just recently finished college. She took an education course, secondary education. Uh, and this more or less it's an interesting character because she graduated high school in this Filipino Chinese school. Did we have a name for this school? I forgot. Then insert. We'll go for like insert virtue
Oh, or
school
yeah, yeah.
or like
Well, we
name.
already have Magnificent. We have Magnificent as the name of the mini campaign, so it's the Magnificent Philippine Chinese School.
Okay, so it's
That's
the magnificent Phil Chai School. So
Chinese term, but
yeah.
we translated it into English. So
Yeah. So, magnificent in the Magnificent School. She graduated high school there as a valedictorian. Everything flying colors. She is a part of the book club, probably one of the higher ranking individuals. When she graduated, probably president. Like everything was colorful, but when she went to college, uh, she was just more or less blended in the scene. Her grades weren't as stellar. It was enough for her to become the one of the teachers for this high school, and in a way, it was her trying to get back and trying to capture like the good days. Her best years was in high school. She keeps reflecting on it. She would give a lot of anecdotes to her students of, oh, back when I was in high school, is the library still like this, are the books still the same? She just knew the school very intimately. It's almost as if it's her lived breathed situation. Just to touch on a couple of her passions, she and dark passions in a sense, she relishes in recognition. She does love when she is being recognized. Anything related to achievements, the overachiever kind of thing. If she sees her trophy signaling her victory in the first ever nationwide math contest, it just makes her light up. When there's also bits and pieces of her live experience where she stayed most of the time in the library. She stayed most of the time in the tutor house. Hey, shout out to the peeps who go to the tutor house kasi masakit ang math. But she relishes it in all of that, and she, in a way, as tie in as well to the campaign title, she is considered the favorite of a well-known. We all have a teacher in high school, be it a Tan or a Go or whichever. There's this one professor who made an impact in how we learn things, and that would be uh Sir Wang. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so that's how I close out my character. Your turn, John.
Oh, wait. Sorry. Before we jump to John,
Oh,
two questions.
oh.
Mars, question number one. Who is your high school or college? Who is your college best friend?
Ooh, I would say let's go with my brain's blanking out on the name. Uh
The name can follow, but
okay.
give me a very brief idea of your best friend.
Not really best friend. It was just like they were batchmates.
Okay.
Um and that batchmate has been in every section, like from like in college, like they stayed in the same batch. There were rotations, some of them shifted, some of them went to different classrooms,
Mm.
but they stayed.
To help you define this, what is the one thing about her that made her your friend?
She saw, like, she still stayed even if even if she kept pulling away. Like the moment her grades dropped, the moment she just stopped socializing to people, this person just kept trying to hang out with her. It's like, hey, we're gonna hang out. Hey, you need help with this? Hey, do
Got
you
it.
have a group work? So it's her proactiveness to still connect with Ali, even if Ali was not giving any. Like she just shut herself off. That's what made her
Thank
a
you.
good friend. Oh, who's that? Oh, thank you for the follow.
The second question will be after John.
Okay.
So,
Sounds good.
John, a quick intro on your character.
Sure. So my character's name is Ace Tan, and uh, very generic Phil Chai name. So
Hey.
just like Mars's character, or C Ali rather, um, Ace also studied in this school, which his family happens to own. So he grew up with the principal or the chairman of the board being his grandfather. And well, high school was challenging for Ace. So being under the direct observation of family members, you're under a lot of pressure to excel and do not bring shame to your performance. We own the school. You can't be a failing student. You gotta be top in the class. You gotta be like always up there. Um, he didn't have a terrible time, but he did not have an easy time. It was a high stress environment,
Mm-hmm.
and he was in the same club as Ali. He was an upper batch person, senior, I believe, and he observed the favorable treatment of this new star student before he graduated, and then he went off to take masters in abroad, you know, where he kind of came more into his own. But after that, after a couple of years out there, um, came back to the Philippines because andito yung family. Like the family was here, the business was here,
The
the
legacy is
legacy was
here.
here, everything's here. So it's like, all right, I'm gonna come back, and I'm gonna do things better. He kind of found more of his ground, so he's coming back in as an adult. So a little something to prove to the family. And yeah, he did well enough, learning and taking education. Um, so that's why he came into the school. It's like, okay, I'm a master's of education and administration.
Mhm.
I have something to bring, something fresh to bring to the school, and he
Okay.
arrives on site with the position for that. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
So for Ace, the first question is best friend or girlfriend? Who are we bringing into the game?
Mm.
Or is it both? Is it best friend who has turned into girlfriend?
Hi.
These patterns are very familiar.
Yeah, of course it happened. It does happen. I mean, my wife is a friend.
Yeah.
Verbata.
Ay, kailangan ko, guys.
If you're watching, you know where you are. But anyway, let me see. Yeah, I'd like that. Kaso, I just remembered, like, I don't have the stuff for it. The
That's
dots for
fine.
it.
That's fine. We can adjust those
Okay.
later.
Yeah.
But
Alright,
that's
alright.
that's how the game works.
Yeah, okay, sure. So let's throw that in there. So I did have a best friend who turned into girlfriend. It's a
Okay.
lot. Oh, I don't know if this works for you, like LDR kind of thing. So I don't know if she's in the
That's
Philippines
cool.
or if she's abroad at
That's
the
fantastic.
moment. She's somewhere in the world, and then I passed away.
Oh no!
So for those
that
who
is
are
so
watching,
sad.
LDR is long distance relationship. In
Yes.
case you don't know what it means,
If you don't
Yeah.
know, sorry. Yes,
give
right.
me a give me a brief a few words or a quick descriptor just so that if I were to role play the LDR, how do I approach it? Is she quirky? Is she calm? Is she
Quirky works.
okay?
Quirky, mildly feisty, also still feel shy. Because
Okay.
kailangan same.
Got
Gotta
it.
get the
Got it.
same thing. It's fine. So
And as I told Mars, feel free to message in the Discord chat the name once you come up with it. Don't feel rushed for it, but find the name that works best for you. Um, Going back to you, Mars. The second question.
Yes.
Um, can you give a brief idea of what or how you found Ace back in the earlier years, high school or college?
High
probably
school. Weren't we in the same book club?
high school.
Yeah.
Same club. I was 2 years above.
Yeah. So I think it would be interesting that when she was in her, I guess, sophomore, like second year, she got into the club and she was immediately elected, like because like it's a club system, so there would be like secretary, treasurer, whatever.
Yeah.
And immediately when she got into it, she was immediately assigned as treasurer, and she
Mhm.
showed her leadership skills. So it could be that at that time, Ace was the president, so they worked hand in
Yep.
hand. And the vice president
Yep.
doesn't do, like, no offense to the vice presidents in the clubs, they don't really do much. So it's like
Apologies to the vice presidents in the
I
club.
am,
You're usually
But
just the
was it
backup.
but was it rivalry or was it friendship?
I would say there's like, she notices that medyo, that kind of you can tell that he's older and he kind of keeps his distance, especially when after there's like conversations with Sir Wang, like, oh, it's Sir Wang, and after that it's just like, oh, how musta naman yung budget, or like, did you already list down the things for the last ganyan. But it's very straightforward, curt kind of situation. So she's just like, okay.
Very business-like.
Oh, like there's no warmth.
like-
There's no
So
like
so
warmth.
very formal.
Very
Yeah.
formal. So like, I guess you'd say it like, my character isn't disrespectful to her.
Mhm.
He isn't warm,
Yeah, no warmth. Like, it's just like
nor warm.
business.
Very
Mhm.
formal, very polite. Yun
So,
lang.
John, I'm now throwing your second question is
Yeah.
in the modern day, years later, and you reconnect with Ali.
Mm.
What were your impressions to Ali upon realizing she's in your legacy school?
Well, Ace doesn't take it against her, like the way she was treated. It's like, hey, it's not your fault. I also did take psychology, so like he was able to kind of self-analyze in those years, and he's like, all right, wala namang bad blood within them, so it's like, okay, I know she works well, so okay, fresh start, sure, let's work together. I guess we'll just have to make use of your good graces with my grandfather, since he doesn't have that for me. So it's more, it's very pragmatic. His view was very pragmatic.
Okay. But basically, that's the main thing. She's closer to my grandfather than I am.
Yeah.
I think that's the key thing here. That
Yeah,
we
it's like
take note.
it was irritating, but he can't blame her. It's like it's a thing with my grandfather. He decided to be warmer.
Yeah.
Why, I don't know. It's irritating, but that parang ganun.
Hinga malalim.
Hingang malalim. It's like, okay, I haven't. But I can't get over that. Or no, he had to get over it. It's like, it's like that thing's like, that's annoying. So yeah.
Okay, sounds good. So we have our initial characters. We're just finalizing the names of the key support NPCs. I've mapped out a few names as well that I could use for later characters to be introduced. But our main cast is ready. Our safety tools is done. As always, X card is in play. During the game, if there's anything weird or uncomfortable, you can show an X on your arms or type the letter X on the chat, and that everyone knows in the game that we should move on to the next scene immediately and drop whatever was being discussed that moment. There is no need to explain unless you wish to explain why. This is also an open table, so if ever there's something more urgent, something more important, if you do not feel well, if you do not feel you're having fun, you are free to leave and we will not hold it against you. If an important call comes in, if children demand your attention, that's fine. We will respect that. Our game is a game, but it is second to anything else in real life that is more important.
Okay.
So as always, and also if you need to use the bathroom, do not hesitate to say bio break, and you can close your camera, just so we know when you're back when you turn it back on. Don't hold it until it's safe to leave.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're at an age where we have to take care of our bladders.
Yes.
Always take care of it.
Like, my players would joke. Like, I would tell them, please please do bio breaks and stuff. No, we're gonna hold it. like, you challenged us, we're gonna hold it. Like, no, please. Okay.
It's easier to do when you're younger, but as you get older,
Nah.
don't do that. That's bad.
Yeah, God, kidney
I
stones
just
are
feel
no
like, you know
joke.
what? We're gonna practice healthy living here. Go. Go. You need to go. You go.
Okay, wait. No audio. Someone mentioned in the chat.
I know, it's
Yeah,
okay.
I don't know.
Crisis
all good.
averted.
Okay.
Thanks for letting us know, though. Thank you for the mini
Yes,
heart
thank
attack.
you for letting us know.
double
We want to
checking.
make sure that there's a good recording of the session as well, because it helps us also look backtrack what
Yes.
happened.
Yes.
What happened?
Okay, So I think we're good to start. Mars, do you have a name for your friend?
Yes, I already posted it in the channel. I gave her a nickname, Dandan.
Wait, I don't think I saw it in the Discord. I'm
uh,
checking in roll.
player references. I believe I put it.
Oh, okay. You typed it in. It wasn't just in the chat.
Yes. Oh,
I
you
see. I
meant
see.
you went Twitch. Sorry, I went Discord.
No, that's okay. That's okay. I'm just now transferring it to my spreadsheet to make sure I don't miss it.
Yeah.
Um,
Proper note taking.
yes.
Oh,
Um,
I'm sorry. Dandan is noodles, so that's all I
Yeah,
can think
you're
of.
fine.
Dandan.
so
Noodles.
you wrote down two friends. Is that correct?
I know, just one. It's just the
Estaflora is the last name.
yes.
Okay, okay, got it.
Shout out. I just thought it on the spot. Totally not related to my chaos partner here on Twitch, who's Kitstaflora. Estaflora. So,
Okay, and ooh, that's a key detail I should mark in my notes. Not Chinese.
no.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we're good to start. I'm just double checking my notes. Okay. We open our session um, with the Burmonths because the Burmonths have already come upon us, and Christmas music is assaulting us from
Where,
all directions.
whenever I see boys and girls.
Yes, at the earliest parts of September, we are staring at Christmas decor on the windows. We are hearing Christmas carols playing in the malls. Um, and deep down, there is a part of us that is struggling to make sense of how this is happening in the Philippines, but it is.
Binumuno tayo ni
Um,
Jose Marichan. It's perfect for Wraith.
Well,
Yeah.
we
Perfect.
opened the scene with Ali, and Ali, um, you are hearing the cry of different voices in utter shock and terror, with the loudest voice coming from Dandan, who's staring, holding her hands to her face and muttering, "Oh my god, Ali, you're dead!" All the others are staring at you, and you see the man who's standing close to your group nodding and saying, "I'm sorry, Ali, but the village has voted. You are dead." Your group has been playing this game of werewolf. You
Puta.
did not want to play this game of werewolf.
Uh,
But Dan insisted it was an experience that will be unlike anything else you've ever had. I promise you, it is the best game ever. You do not think it's the best game ever.
no, no, like you can immediately go, oh no, like there's this like polite, like, oh, it's okay, like, sige, like she puts down the card and be like, sige, like I'll head out, or like alis muna ako. Like it was really fun, thank you. I checked the time. Oh, I need to be
Dan stands
somewhere.
up. No, she can't be dead. How can she be dead? She's my best friend. She's not your best friend.
Like, it's okay. Like she just like does a nervous laugh. Of like, oh yeah. Wait, thanks for the invite though, but I really need to go. There's like assessments and
The other people at the table are people you just met.
yeah.
They're total strangers, but it seemed to be a game that allowed people who didn't know each other to play with each other.
Yeah.
Dan looks at you worriedly, and you see her holding her card, and she starts mouthing to you, "I need 5 more minutes. Can you wait?"
I do an exhale. She goes, she just nods quietly, and then she just does like a polite excuse to leave the table and head on over to like get water, try to distract herself from the awkwardness of the situation. And she's just telling
Mm-hmm.
herself, like, she's reflecting back on how it's such a struggle now to talk to strangers when she would remember they had board games in the library back in the day, and she would like initiate board game nights, card game nights. Payagan sila ng
Mm-hmm.
librarian to do those little things with the book club. And then her mind passes to that as she like absently fills up a cup of water, drinks.
You fill the paper cup with the cool water. Around you are other board games, and you stare at the closest one, which is Escape from Death, Rail 101, and it shows some sort of train with people screaming. The board game beside it shows Unfathomable, Death at Sea, and you see this boat with some sort of octopus squid monster wrapped around it. And you find yourself staring, why is every game nearby about death? Are you the suspicious? Are you the superstitious type?
Yes, actually, like, she immediately like lowers her cup and then like, she's just making like mental notes like this is too weird, like it's like I hope I don't see a number. Like she go, I hope I don't see a number 4. Did I do anything? Was I wearing something? Like it's just like going through the mental checklist of like, did I do something today? Like
You
it's
run
just
your head through everything you've done. Woke up, made sure you covered any requirements for the day. Realized it was a weekend, so decided to check on what plans you had in mind. But Dan calls and tells you that she needed time to spend with you. You were expecting to just go shopping and do some errands, and instead got pulled into Dan's new story, her new love searched, sought, fought, and lost story, which ended with the breakup while watching Alien Romulus. Because she complained that her then date did not hug her like a face hugger. So you have been you have been keen in seeing this day end soon, but not with all these death markings around you.
yeah. She kind of like lingers. She kind of
Can I
turns
help
so
you? You hear behind you.
she immediately like I do not perceive will like ignore, but like it's in the back of her mind like, oh god, this is bad. Like a sense of foreboding, and she goes, she turns, she looks. Uh,
Charming guy, a bit more on the heavy side, thinning hair, clean skin, and wearing this bright blue shirt with a circle in white and the number 4.
oh,
He notices your face and mutters, "Oh, Fantastic Four. You're familiar? You read the comic?"
n- no. And she kind of like, I'm uh di po ako sa Marvel ba yan? Like she
Yeah,
goes,
yeah, it's part of Marvel Comics. There's actually a movie coming up. The guy from Stranger
ah,
Things is playing the thing, and he starts rattling off as if you were already in a conversation with him.
oh, like she's like yeah, like she just nods, zoning out, her eyes moving to the floor, and then looks at the door and she's like, she looks at the time as well, says, my friend and I are leaving, if that's okay. I thank you for letting
The
me.
guy seems to mishear what you're saying and goes, "Actually, Kang is the one who has powers on time. But Doctor Doom actually learned to use time when he
Oh
starts
my
rattling
god.
off again."
Like she goes, I just go like, sige, I'm like looking at like knowing that there's no chance and just the anxiety of it all. She goes, she grabs her phone, pretends like
Hmm.
I need to answer this phone call, and then she immediately rushes out, ignores that, ignores
The
that,
guy
and ignores
The
it.
guy continues because others nearby have heard him and have joined the conversation. They're
Yeah.
now all talking comic stock. You with the phone in your ear in your fake phone call, you glance and you see Dan right now pointing to people. I kill you! I kill you! I kill you! And you're thinking, okay, that game's gonna end soon. As you hold the phone in your ear and you find yourself looking out the window, there's this sudden realization of, oh my god, I'm pretending to be on the phone. Don't I have someone to call?
No. Um, I
You
don't want.
stare at the phone.
I stare at no, I don't. I don't want to bother my parents in this situation. I yeah, it's like no. Uh there's a mental checklist on like oh, I could call this friend of mine yung sa high school, yung kabar, no, she's actually working in in the community pharmacy right now, hindi ko siya pwede tawagan, it's her shift. Oh, I could call this one from high school. Oh no, they're actually working office hours. So like she's just checking off the list of all her high school friends and their jobs and their hours that knows it would not be a good time to call.
If this were a movie, we're like seeing, a picture with the name and then
Yep.
X and then
Yep. No,
all
the
the
busy,
reasons
busy,
why they're
busy.
not available.
Yeah, busy, busy,
And
busy, busy.
and with that transition, we go through the glass plane of the shop. We flip to the outside in the corridor as Ace Stan walks into view. Ace, you're on the phone right now with Heart, and Heart is telling you, "No, that's what I heard. The shop's pretty good, and people actually go there now to distress. Everyone's into board games now. Can you imagine? In the past, it used to be MMOs."
Ah, so I pick up phone like, oh yeah, sure. um, yeah, I can check it out. I guess.
You don't have to. It's just that I was thinking, since you're there and I'm here, at least if you're feeling bored, you could try to make friends and connect with people there. I know it's weird right now in school. Everyone's
Mm,
older and they can't really befriend you. You're the owner.
yeah, I'm like,
I mean, what's gonna happen? They're gonna pretend they're your friend, but deep down they know they're trying to get a raise or ask
and
for more days off.
I'm like, you don't have to tell me. I'm not looking for friends in school. I'll be working with these people. It's fine. I'm not looking for like. I'll work with them, and that's
Where is Heart working?
Let's see.
How LDR is LDR? Other country, different time zone?
Yeah, let's go with that. Currently other country, different time zone. She's working somewhere abroad. Probably will come back to the country at some point in
Yeah,
the
no.
near future. That kind of thing.
Yeah, it's enough to know that it's a different time zone. That also tells us it's
Yeah,
not likely you can visit. It's not likely you can just see
yeah.
her.
You gotta
She,
synchronize, kind of
you
thing.
hear her yawn and you realize it's probably getting late for her.
Hmm.
Late possibly not because of the R, or late because she's been up for longer than she should be.
Yeah. So I do the whole hey look, don't worry about it. I'll check it out. Um we used to have fun with that kind of stuff anyway back in the day. So it's not no problems at all. You need to get ready to sleep. It is whatever their time, and you got work in the morning. I don't want you to be late.
Wait,
Yeah,
wait, wait, wait. Before we end the call, I almost
sure.
forgot the point I called you. And of course, it's because I miss you, but you know that, so I don't have to say that. The December trip, I'm still flying there to finally meet your parents, right?
Yeah, of course.
This is pushing through this year.
Yeah, of course.
There's that unspoken, it didn't last year.
I'm like, yeah, of course. No, of course. I'm settled in. No reason you shouldn't come. No reason you shouldn't meet them. I mean, it's not like our parents haven't heard of each other. They've probably met before anyway. Whatever.
I'm just
He
more
starts
worried that
rambling.
they might.
He's like rambling a little.
I'm just worried that they might not take too well to the fact I'm not traditional.
Eh, I'm running things here. It's fine. They'll get
I mean,
used to
come on. I'm actually doing nuclear physics here, okay? So I don't think I'm the housewife your parents expect you to have.
it. Ah. Well, um, not an issue. in his head, he's like, yeah, that's what we hire people to help us with, I guess.
Okay, so I got the perfect gift. Um, I think it's meaningful. I think it's pretty. It's quirky, but not too quirky.
Okay.
I'll send you a picture, and she, presses her phone, and you see the picture load in your messenger, and it's a clock.
Clock.
It's a clock of this anthropomorphic pair.
Huh. I'm like, that's a good start. Uh, we'll add to that. Yeah,
I
other
knew
ideas
it.
we can also bring in.
I knew it. You are not being honest with me. I showed you the worst possible gift, and you're saying it's okay. Ace, what's wrong with you?
Laka.
And he's like, look, you know how I am. I always find a way to get things to work. Okay, so
No, you always try to reassure me everything's okay rather than tell me the truth. Who gives pears to a Chinese family?
yeah,
Who gives clocks to a Chinese family?
I'm like, you can
I
actually
wasn't
give pairs.
raised
You can give pairs. You can give pairs.
I wasn't raised to be traditional, and I know that's bad.
You can give pairs. Not in clock form.
Seriously,
And
I
other
need you to be
other food.
honest. I need you to be upfront with me. You can't spoil me just because we're so far apart.
It's like, yeah, okay, sure. I'll send you a list of ideas which I think would work.
Mm-hmm.
That's straight up. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I'll get my rest and we'll be in touch. We have December to look forward to. You
Mhm.
have the school to look forward to. Build those ties, make those foundations strong.
Mm,
Find your right hand man, because once you're fully in charge, you'll need someone who you could trust to do all the dirty work.
right. Of course. Thinks of some people in mind. Yeah.
And as your brain is rushing through possible people, you look up and look through the glass, and you see across the glass a familiar face looking back at you, also with a phone in her hands. Ali meets Ace in the scene.
Um, this is
Speak of
bad.
the devil.
Oh, this is bad because is it a school day?
No,
It's-
it's a weekend.
Okay.
Yeah. Can be
Um,
near school, but it's not school.
I'll be like, it's like immediately like seeing a boss in like a place you don't. I'm like, hello. I make a bow. I immediately put down my phone.
This is with the glass still between you, right? You don't like step out to say hello.
No, I
It's
just
while within the shop.
yeah, I just no, I actually stepped out of the shop already
Okay.
because I tried to remove myself out of the weird juju vibes of like death everywhere. Number 4, my friend is still going at the game. There's already part of me is already thinking I've done this before with Dan Dan, where I just go, I don't feel well. I go ahead and leave her. like where it for me, she's used to me just going and leaving without saying
Mm-hmm.
goodbye to her. It's just like, oh, I'm not well. I'm not. And, okay, I hope you feel better. And then she keeps going at that. And then she knows if she stayed behind, she'd be stuck there for hours and just not enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
So she's just like, she starts preparing the text, but she's already outside facing
Okay.
boss. Um, and she immediately nods, hello po. She kind of goes, I'll be leaving na po. It's a, like, tries to do small talk, polite, like, it's a nice
And I'm like,
place.
okay, okay, dear. Hold on. I ran
sorry.
into-
Oh my god, like, I suddenly realized at the phone. Ay, sorry, sir. Sorry, sir.
I'm like, hold on a sec. Hold on a sec. like, hold on to both. It's like, I'm just like, okay, wait. wait, you wait.
Horrified.
And then I'm just like, okay, I ran into someone. Love you,
I
bye-bye.
heard that sounded like a woman. Hello, hello.
Yeah, she's one of the staff. And I'm like, at this point, I'm like, roll eyes, like, okay, dear, enough of that. It's stuff.
Of course I know. It's
For
just fun to tease you. I'll be
I
in
know.
touch. Closes
I
the
know.
phone after pleasantries and love loves.
And I'm like, um,
Oh.
hi. Like,
That's horrified,
right,
because the
sorry.
boss told me to stay put. I am frozen there. It's like, please let me go,
I'm like,
please, sir.
I'm just, yeah. So meanwhile, I'm just like, I'm sorry, I had a, call.
Yes.
You know the place?
No.
no. It's time
Oh no, she's forever stuck here. She's like, a friend invited me. I was just about to leave actually, but it's pretty nice. There's a lot of people. Not my type of place, but it was a nice it's nice to experience it at least once.
I take a peek inside. I'm like, what? I see I guess a game, bunch of people playing games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, looks lively in there.
Yeah. I interrupted your phone call, sir. I like wait. There's a yeah. It's just sir. I'm so sorry. I interrupted your call. I just got off the phone and you were facing, and I didn't know that you were sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. I was just about to go actually.
I'll even throw in John because you do have psychology. You could tell from Ali's body language he wants to leave that place.
Yeah, I'm
It's
like,
not a hi and I want to go back in it. It's hi, but I'm inching away from the door.
yeah, and it's like, yeah. Part of me is like, mm, okay, yeah, sure, no. Do I have your number?
The same number for meetings when we get meetings for the
Oh,
faculty.
okay. So I just
Same.
wanted to check that. All right. I'll let you go. Sure. See you around on Monday.
Yes, and
See you on
then
Monday.
I actually take a pause and go, by the way, musta na pala si Sir Wang? Because I
He's
know,
alive and kicking.
no, I've been like, what's he doing in this weekend? Is the inquiry? I'm just curious what he, like, do you know?
Oh, right. He's doing his usual. Hasn't changed much. I mean, you used to visit, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You used to visit. You can. I guess you could find him.
Can I just declare like does he still play like mahjong with the gang and stuff and be like is he still playing mahjong with the neighbors and stuff and
Yeah. Still.
Let's make it more iconic. He plays in campus. He sets up a table in the
yeah
park, and no one can say no because he's Sir Wang.
yeah exactly.
He invites friends, but sometimes he plays with random whatevers.
Yes, exactly.
Like, yeah, still does the same thing on the usual.
Yeah.
You can visit him if you like.
He's still there. Isn't it getting late now? Wait, what time is it
Uh,
actually in world? What time
I
is
guess
it?
like afternoon-ish, I guess. I don't know. I know. Wait, what time makes sense for North America? Afternoon. So I can say it's late.
Yeah, that's fine.
Sige.
Oh, okay. So I would.
We're not sticklers for accuracy here. As
Oh,
long as
true,
it's
true, true.
dramatically appropriate, we
Yes.
keep going.
Okay, I'll just be like, oh, so he's still there. Okay, like you see the
Yeah.
immediate change of like from there. It's like it lights up when we're talking about Sir Wang and his mahjong and be like, sige,
Like, yeah, he'll be there until a little past sunset. closing the school as usual, even if it's already closed, because it's the weekend.
Yeah. Very.
Ali, I thought you left. Good, I reached you. Stepping out of the shop, we see Dan.
I like this is
She glances.
it's like this is facing Ace and Dan's behind. You see the face of like, oh no. Like kind of like, oh.
And
She
I
sees
see
you,
this and
Ace.
I'm like, Miss Kamai.
Oh.
I look at her. It's like, you better get going to my grandfather. He's expecting you.
Like uh, uh, okay po. Yes. And then I look at that. Sorry.
I'm just like, yeah, go.
I look way, but that sorry. I'm needed apparently in school, and
I'm the boss.
like I immediately leave.
Dan, of course, sees you pointing and she's like, what? You can't leave. We were supposed to hang out. Is it because of that guy who came back? That jerk
Yeah,
who
that's-
used to be your classmate?
And like, yeah, her boss.
She looks at you. Excuse me, I'm having a conversation with my friend. Don't butt in.
Oh,
I'm the boss
like,
you're talking
I'm
about.
horrified. Like, Dan.
And I'm like, hi, I'm the boss I'm her boss, the guy you're talking about. Glad to meet you.
Sir, I do not talk about
You?
you. I don't talk
I
about.
don't believe you're the boss. From what she said, he's not good looking. You're good looking.
I'm dying. I
This
am.
lady is so weird. And I'm like, raise eyebrow. Miss Kamai. I just nod. You should get going.
Oh my god, I'm wrong. She stares at you. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, sir. I'm so sorry, Mr. Tan. Please forgive me. My parents did not raise me well.
Like, oh god. I'm just
Ali,
looking on the
is Ali
floor.
just leaving now or still trying to
I
drag her
am-
friend
I'm
with
like,
her?
I'm more
It's
of
fun.
frozen with the social interaction, knowing that I did not say anything bad about Ace, and she's just looking down on the ground and just wants to be swallowed by the ground. Like, if all these ominous things about death, please take me now. Like, this is so bad. Like, oh god, like please take me, please take me. I don't want
I'm
this.
so sorry, Mr. Tan. We're going already. Goodbye. God bless. And she starts grabbing you, Ali, to hurry away with the. You know how when shame propels the feet forward?
Yes, I will. I will just let her drag me as she always does with all social interactions, and I look up to Sir Ace with like this. Sorry, I'm sorry. I did not do anything. I swear to God, I didn't say shit. Like kind of, please.
I just look at her and I'm like, it's okay, whatever, go.
And as the two leave, Ace, you find yourself realizing, well, you're definitely returning to an interesting cast of characters. You're actually not sure if Dan's part of the faculty. I'll let Mars decide if she is.
No. I would say she kind of, but she does visit the school often, because like she knows.
She's there often because of you.
Yeah, she's trying to like initiate. Oh, sige, you're busy after class. I'm here now. I will sundo you kind of energy. Golden retriever
And that's
energy.
when Ace, you hear suddenly on your Bluetooth headset,
Hmm.
very interesting people. You look down at your phone and you realize the phone's still running. You
And I'm
must
like,
have you must have mispressed when you ended the call.
well, hello.
Very interesting to
I'm
know
sure-
someone did find you handsome.
We're not going into this.
You hear her laugh, the hardest laugh she's had. You know there's no jealousy or anything. It's really just to tease you.
Yeah,
And
she's
she tells
having
you
a-
again, enjoy your weekend. I'll be in touch. I'll get some rest. And Ace, stay safe, okay?
Of course.
I mean,
I'm always
you know, that's still the Philippines. You never know what might happen when you're out there.
I'm like, honey, I grew up here. I know how it's like.
In the safety of your Chinese family, yes.
And I'm like,
Not everyone has a bodyguard. Good night. Love you. And she ends the call.
And I'm like,
It wasn't always with a bodyguard.
and that was 15 years ago. What are like,
We cut
alright.
to our next scene, which is it can be days later, it can be weeks later. I'm fine either way. But John, this time we'll start with you. Where would you like your scene to be? It can be in campus. It could be doing other personal things. It could touch on some of your passions if you want.
Mm, you know what? Let's dive into campus. I'm good with that. Dive into campus.
Let's drag Sir Wang with you.
Ah,
So, so you and Sir Wang are walking in campus. Bell tolls and the students are hurrying to the next class. Many, of course, upon seeing the two of you, divert. Some naman go close and make sure they say hi. You know, the mix of students, depending on what
yeah.
the type of student. Wang, of course, it's almost automatic. You know, he's reaching his hand out to those who want to shake his hand or whatever, but the whole time he's talking to you. And of
Alright.
course, he talks to you with the comfort and the warmth of a family member who is really sincerely happy to see you back.
I am still awkwardly struggling with this slight shift.
You know,
In
a legacy is an important thing. It's a responsibility that is less about choice and more about respect,
Mm.
about love. Our family has built this school from a time when education was not readily available.
Mm.
And while we are not the first Filipino Chinese school to have sprung up during those times, I'd like to have the pride in seeing how we have actually helped grow the community around us.
Mm.
Looking around now, you have those malls, you have those commercial districts, and those business offices. When the school first started, it was nothing but fields.
Oh man. And I'm like, yeah, of course, grandfather. Of course. I'm like, this has been repeated many times in his head. He's just like, okay. Um, I just basically let him continue, I guess.
So your father, he told you to come here?
No,
Have you
no, he didn't.
spoken with him?
Yeah,
He
with
turns
that
to look at
tone,
you.
yeah.
There's that. I know that tone. When
I
did you last speak with your father?
I sent a text message.
When did you last speak with your father?
Woo! Woo!
I'm like, last Sunday.
What year?
It was this year, okay? Like literally last Sunday. Like,
Mm. And did you finally talk with him? Or was it just to let him know you arrived?
uh, and he's like, basically he's like,
He continues walking, smiling as he does so. The
mm.
two of you have always been stubborn. But then
And I'm
again,
like,
you'd both take it from me.
uh, and I'm like, oh man, it's like, oh, this is working out.
It
Alright.
it takes stubbornness to build a school from farmland. And like your father, like you, I have always wanted to build something that will outlive me. Lahat kayo architect. Ano, shared family legacy. Architect yung nature.
Oh, good point.
But this was not your first plan. When you graduated, you had something else in mind. Didn't you take masters abroad?
Yeah. What you? And I'm like, I'm sure you knew what I took. I'll use the term angkong kasi that's grandfather, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Angkong.
perfect.
You know what I took.
He starts rattling off the specifics of your curriculum. He starts rattling off the date you started. He even
Yeah,
slips in the whatever adjustments you had to the course along the way.
Yeah, I mean, of course he'd know because like I sat down with him over it. It's just like, hello. Like, ano ba pinagsasabi mo? We sat down over this together.
Mhm. And then as he ends the whole list of history of your recent academic journey, he turns to you and with his eyes looking straight at you. And after all that, you now decide to come back for the legacy?
What I studied for perfectly fits, as you very well know.
Mm, I still think there's something you're not telling me. He continues walking.
And I'm like, anyway,
Has your father told you?
told me what?
You see him look at you with this, he hasn't. And just continues walking.
I'm like, na naman.
The things parents play.
And I'm like, and you can feel like the Ace can feel like a stress ball forming in the back of his head. It's like, it's just a Monday. Monday blues. Okay lang yan. Okay.
Bell rings, students start rushing off to their next class. You see the different teachers rushing here and there. In the distance, you see a group of students who are huddled in one area, and the security guard is telling them to to go away because it's not safe. You see there are small, I forgot what you call it, those metal bars with a rope, um, set up to keep people away from the construction area because there's a part of the building that's currently under construction, and there's a smaller crane that's actually in campus right now to help with the
Right,
construction.
right.
Sir Wang places a hand on your shoulder to get your attention away from the construction site. And as you glance to the side, you realize you're in the part of the school near the display cases. These massive, almost 2-story tall glass cases that contain everything the campus is proud of. So it's this large hall, 2 stories high, and it's a glass case, one side of the building. And you see him stop there and he motions. That's your trophy, isn't it?
I'm like, I haven't checked. I look for it.
You stare at the case, look at where he's pointing. In your mind, you know your championship belt is in the training hall. It's not here.
Oh.
But as your eyes focus on the belt he's pointing at, you see your father's name on it.
That's Dad's.
Ay, sorry. Sometimes I mistake the two of you. He shakes head.
Yeah. I shrug. I'm like, okay.
Yours is in the dojo. It's not here.
Mm.
I
Yep.
always wondered why you were satisfied with that.
It's a place I like being in.
What about your mother? Have you spoken with her?
Yeah, she texts every day, almost every day.
I tell you, your mother has never been the same ever since she learned how to text, especially with those emojis.
Uh,
Ay, every day a new emoji that she learned.
yeah, yeah. Well,
So has she told you?
and then I'm like, ah. I look at him like, what? Yung tipong, ano to?
I guess we'll find out when we'll have dinner on Friday. After, sorry, on Saturday. Are we still? We're having dinner on Saturday, yes?
Yeah, at your place, right?
Nods. I'll see you then.
Of course. See you then.
He smiles and turns to you, and he gives you this, playful smile. This isn't your school yet. And then he starts walking.
Of course it. Yeah. Grumble, grumble. Like, yeah, of course. It's not my school. It's our school.
Our school.
The burden of legacy. Left alone now in the two-story display case of trophies, none of which carry your name. What do you do?
Well, I didn't put my stuff there. I didn't want to put my stuff there.
Yeah, you didn't focus on leaving stuff in the school. You did achievements everywhere else.
No, that's true. Um. Oh well. I just like. Anyway.
Back around, relieve stress, and go somewhere.
Yep. Well, what's rolling in his head is like, well, you want achievements. I've got something. I've got better ones than student awards coming. At least that's what he's thinking now.
Mhm.
So back to the rounds. The usual.
Is there any specific place you want to check during your rounds, or just routine? And then we can move to Ali.
Yeah, just routine. Check the classrooms. I have like a patrol pattern.
Your preset pattern.
Mm.
That's awesome. Okay. While you're doing your pattern, we then shift to Ali. Maybe same day, maybe a different day. This is really more still scenes to get the feel of the character because we're
Yeah.
just starting the campaign.
Sure. I would say same-ish day.
Mm-hmm.
Though I
Where would you be?
Homeroom. I would like to choose homeroom, or at least whichever class stationed. This would be like halfway through, like maybe class dismissed. Like patapos na yung she would be going through the last final subject. A lot of people's
Mhm.
brains are already tired. They're already
So this will be scenes with your students.
yes, scenes with my students, please.
Okay. And your students are around what age?
These are high schoolers, so I would say let's go with since she's a freshman, she recently finished. They would not allow her. Like this is just like they would not allow her to go anywhere higher subjects. So probably to build up on experience first and second year. So
Okay.
let's
Got
settle
it.
with second years.
Class is right now alive. share us an idea of what you've set up for today's lesson? We don't have to be too specific, but
Okay.
basically, our it's not a test day. Basically, it's
It's a more of a lecture
it's a more
type.
interesting day.
Can we just for ease of the teacher, like it would be a reporting day. So she just basically
Okay.
observes each of them doing reports. They would go up front. No one does Manila paper like back in the day. So they're all doing their PowerPoints. They're all doing it through their phones and all that. So it's a weird
Okay.
feeling to see all of them just doing all of it through PowerPoints, their presentations for each of it. But it's nice. It's a fun
Okay.
activity for homeroom. It's surprising that they're very Bibo for homeroom. Usually, they're all attacked to go home, or they're not looking forward to there's the end of class, which is where she is, and then there's Chinese class after. So it's interesting that they're Bibo. So I kind of like, oh, what are you guys looking forward to? You guys are looking forward to Chinese after this? Like I was just like kind of bantering with my students. Like,
You
parang Bibo nyo naman
what's your
today.
relationship with the students?
It is a typical relationship with a young teacher. It's like very Bibo. So it's like they see me more
Very
as
best friend teacher
yeah, best
or
friend,
very strict?
best friend teacher.
Okay. Eddie Young, one of the students, is right now in front of everyone, and with his PowerPoint report, he is going through the latter part of the PowerPoint, reading every word in the 2 paragraphs per slide he is showing,
Oh my god. Sabi
and
ko,
everyone else is just staring,
ay,
struggling not to
sige,
fall
sige,
asleep.
Eddie, and like, sabi ko, Eddie, what did we talk about? If you're gonna read, you just put 1 or 2 points in the PowerPoint or picture, and then you explain the picture. Just go focus on the ano.
Uh,
This
but
is too much.
what would they say, ma'am or miss? How do they address you?
They just go, Ma'am Ali. Like very,
Ayan. But Ma'am Ali, if I don't put all the words, how will I remember what I'll say?
don't you have your phone? Pwede naman mag-read, pwede naman magbasa. I allow naman phones here in this classroom. You don't have to put everything there. Remember, you're supposed to practice yung bullet point. Keep it short and sweet. Ikaw naman.
He stares at the PowerPoint. Another classmate comes up and starts pressing on his phone, and then you see on the screen the note section pop open.
I'm like, diba? I told you
The pop
guys.
moment. I can have the notes there.
Yeah,
And as the
exactly.
students are laughing, and Eddie's looking at you with a shy grin,
It's
and the other classmate is now even pointing out other things he can do. The joyful occasion is slightly marred by a sudden realization that when you glance to the side, outside the windows of your classroom, there is a lone figure in the grass area outside, standing. And the lone figure is dressed in all white, not facing you. So you only see the back of the head, the back, but just standing there.
Hiya.
I kind of look, whatever it is, like, like that mid smile. It's like, okay lang yan, Eddie, okay. I immediately like stop and just stare.
The figure has been stationary, head bowed down. So it almost looks like a decapitated person from the back, because the head is barely visible. You get the visual.
Yep.
A hand grabs your shoulder, which startles you briefly, and you see Nadine Ong, one of the students. Ma'am Ali, it's my turn. Can I start?
Tapos na pala si Eddie. I go like, oh, Eddie's done. Okay, Eddie, thank you. Next time.
Ma'am, I'm not done. I still have a few more slides.
it's
Here,
okay.
everyone.
No, it's okay. Tell you what, you send me your PowerPoint with all the notes. I will review it, okay? We'll give term naman to Nadine. This is only supposed to be a 2-minute presentation, not 15.
People laugh. Eddie scratches his head, then starts heading for the chair. Nadine stands up, races to the front, and as you glance out the window, the figure's gone.
I'm like, oh god. Immediately reminded of the stories that they would tell back in my high school days. You know, the usual, the school is that can be haunted. You know, it's on a burial ground kind of situation. Like, oh, this she just closes her eyes, and can I just say most of the homeroom stuff is like the homework she gave for homeroom is just like stories from local area is what she gave to them and just say it in 2 minutes. Like, wow, did you feel about those stories? How did you? So it's not supposed to be long paragraphs. So she just looks. She's wondering if all the talks about the local legends is messing with her. So that's why she kind of like, is this because of the homeroom assignment? And then she kind of looks. The previous thing that Eddie covered was a very long, convoluted, like he probably copied it off the internet. Kind of few stories, because some of them cycle through a lot of the normal stories online. So it's like, so she.
Nadine's on front up front, and Nadine looks at you to check if you're ready. And when you see one of the students parang motioning at the projector, Nadine just shakes a hand. And Nadine turns to everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. I will not use PowerPoint.
Oh,
Wow.
anyway,
One of those.
you're one of the
Nadine turns
students.
to Yep, Nadine turns her back towards everyone, and then she starts bringing her hands to her face. Everyone's wondering. Some are starting to sound more excited. You know, the voices are starting to raise. And then Nadine turns to face everyone all of a sudden, and when she lifts her hands, she smeared black makeup over her face, making her eyes pop out as she looks at everyone. And she
Oh,
says, "The woman by the reservoir!" And people in the front start screaming as you realize she's talking about the urban story of a woman who died by the water reservoir.
Uh, that's oh.
Nadine
oh
starts
god.
physically portraying the story of how a young woman was playing there where people aren't supposed to play, and then she slips and falls into the water reservoir. And of course,
Parang
everyone's
septic
laughing and
tank
cheering
naman
at the
yan.
same time because Nadine is 9 out of 10 commitment.
Okay, I would.
Jumping off tables, rolling on the
Oh
floor.
no! At the moment she starts jumping,
Oh,
Nadine, enough, not, no. Okay, we're good. We're good. Thank you for your presentation.
Her friends kick in. They've planned this together, and her friends start spraying water
plant,
from water bottles at her as she starts saying,
planted.
"I'm drowning, I'm drowning,
Okay, I would say okay.
Oh
I'm
my god.
sa mukha, I'm drowning."
I'd say tama na. This is the first time I use from Western voice, like very strict, and be like, guys, there's too much water on the floor. This is a safety hazard. Pagalitan kayo. Like, I immediately instruct the people who threw the water bottles to get the mops in the. Kung kunin niyo na yung mop, kukunin niyo to. Like, I immediately, no, like, Nadine, stop na. Thank you, Nadine, sit down. Then we have to have the others clean.
Laughter, cheers. Nadine looks at you, obviously very proud that she emotionally reached you.
I'm more like,
Her
God.
her friends her friends are all scratching their heads. Oh no, we're the ones who have to clean this. And they start hurrying to get the mops. And as you gain control of the classroom and look out the window, Guy in White is back. Same spot you saw him earlier, standing
I,
there.
I immediately, like, instinctively, like, just will it to go away. It's like, no, no. Is there, a story particularly related to this one? Um,
Not
that
that you know of. It's just, suddenly there's a man stationary, standing,
is
quote
it a
unquote.
is
Are
it a
you the
middle
only one who
age?
can see him?
Is it a middle age, um, man? Is it like, ano yung hawig niya? Is he
You can't
older?
tell because it's back his face towards you. Probably middle age. You don't think it's an old man, at least.
Okay. And the white is like long sleeve or like white shirt?
Long sleeves, long pants, all white.
Oh.
Oh, there's a second figure now. A figure in black approaching the figure. Oh, wait. Now you realize it's the people from the construction outside. The guy in white turns towards the guy in black, and you realize the guy in white is in coveralls. You know, those white worker coveralls. His head was bowed earlier because he was on his phone, it seems. Because
Oh
as he
my.
turns now, you could see the phone in his hand. As he approaches the other person in the field, and you
Oh my
realize
god.
it is, of course, none other than Mr. Tan. The guy in white raises his hand. Sir Tan. Sir Tan.
Oh,
Anak lang.
yes.
He raises a hand towards you. I'm the one handling the construction, sir.
Hi. I reach over, handshake. I'm sorry.
I was messaging you, wondering if we were still going to meet today.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah. That's why I'm here. Um. So, anong update natin sa project?
So um I don't think we can proceed with the construction unless we close off this section. There are just too many students that walk by, and I feel it is a potential hazard. You know, the crane might have a mishap and something might fall, and we'd want to reduce the risk of injury and danger, especially since this is a high school.
Right. And I'm like, uh, yeah, of course. But and I'm thinking, di ba na-clear yan ng board? Like, didn't they prepare for it? Because
Well, your father did tell us that we needed everything done before December. Unfortunately, if we are to make sure that we do this better, he shows you the phone and you see there the spreadsheet timetable jumps to February.
and I'm like, okay, wait. I'm like, December. What do you need to make it achievable?
Sir, I'm not sure there's anything we can do to hit December unless we close off this entire area. That will, he starts pointing and you realize it will affect the cafeteria. It will affect three-fourths of this park. And possibly even the building where the construction is happening, which is where many of the more science-oriented things are happening. The lab,
And I'm like, park. Okay, the park we can close, no problem. Cafeteria, and I start thinking of like, okay, where can we transfer the cafeteria, the materials, equipment, etc. If there's a different place on campus.
well, there are two possible big spaces that have not been locked down for use. The first is the basketball area, which is only used when there's basketball games or PE class. But you can, just like an emergency, when there's a storm or what, suddenly it's the mess hall or the emergency area. The second
Okay.
option is the trophy hall.
Cafeteria
The
in the
trophy hall has nothing but trophies.
Okay, we can move the cafeteria somewhere. Okay, and then the last thing is like yung labs. Where can we move the labs? That's my problem. It's like yung laboratories.
Yeah, you're also wondering about whatever plumbing, electricals might be there. You might need some teachers to walk you through what might be necessary.
I'll get back. I'll get back to you on the laboratory section, but make a plan. Assuming wala yung cafeteria, you can use that area. I'll clear it out, and you can use the field, the park area, clear out. So, give me a give me an updated plan considering those two. Yung sa laboratories, I'll get back to you tomorrow once I consult with the professors and my grandfather.
His eyes seem to light up when you say that, and he mutters, "Ace, I see this.
Sorry, what?
Pare, that's you."
Uh and I'm like, sorry?
The guy stares at you and seems a bit more shocked. He seems to angle his head as if that's helping him look at your face better. Ace, pare, it's me, Peter. Peter Pong. You don't remember?
Okay, memory jog. Who is this guy?
In your mind, you start racing in your head, and I'll let you do our first roll for the night. It will be an
Eh.
intelligence. I'll allow either intelligence enigmas or intelligence empathy, depending on if it's puzzling it out and trying to find in your mind context, or if it's trying to remember if this person made you feel something.
Context.
Yeah, so intelligence enigmas.
Okay,
So
that is a.
each check is a D10 you'll roll, and in World of Darkness games, it's usually a variable difficulty, but until stated otherwise, assumed difficulty is 6.
4 plus 1, right? Kasi
Yeah, so
enigmas ko-
you roll 5d10,
All right,
and
let's go.
every die that comes out 6 or higher is a success.
Okay. 5d10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'll be using the play roll, right?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Oh no, one! Ay.
There's a 1.
Typically, in World of Darkness games, ones subtract from the number of successes you have rolled. So they are never good. You have a 9, an 8, but a 1. So that leaves you from 2 successes to 1 success. As you stare at Peter Pong, who supposedly remembers you, you are staring at his face. You don't quite, doesn't look familiar.
And
You're staring at his eyes.
I give
It
a
doesn't ring a bell.
answer, and I'll just be like, so this is my one success going. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Weren't you in? I lead with that. Like, hey, I'm like, oh, all right, you were in section, and I do it that way, kind of like letting him.
Yeah,
roll into
you
it.
lock it into your head. He was in the troubled section, the section where all the troublemakers and low graders end up going, not the ace classmates. He was one batch higher than you. In fact, you don't recall ever being friends with this guy because he was annoying. He used to make fun of you.
Oh no.
Yeah. I'm like, I just go like when that comes into mind, I'm like, so and I just point at the work and happening, and I'm like, how did you get into this?
He smiles as he realizes you do recognize him, and leans in without even asking for a manly hug to say, nice to reconnect with you. Didn't bother to check, he already is hugging you and then patting your shoulder. Pare, it's good to see you back. I heard you went to Europe and you were studying there, then you went to all these other countries.
Yeah. I was abroad. I peel his arm off. So, learn how to deal with annoying people abroad. Yeah, of course. Handshake. So, tell me about how you got into the construction thing.
Syempre, that's the best thing I could do. Naman, I didn't graduate. Pero, grabe, I thought you were just gonna be the janitor in the school since it was your family. Are you the principal now? And yes, his other arm has wrapped on your shoulder again.
Oh no.
that kind of guy.
And I'm like,
No.
a little, I'm like, I just shift away. I'm like, clearly like, okay, I'm on the board and in the admin.
Grabe.
That's what I tell him.
It's been so many years, no? And our lives are so different. I remember you were smaller, no? You kind of grew taller and you filled out, huh? Do you do sports now?
And I'm like, yeah. In my head, it's like, yeah, I was on the varsity.
You were
Not
on the
that,
varsity back
like,
then.
not that you'd remember. I actually, it's like, I was on the, ano yan? I was on the judo varsity. I competed. I am the champion. You higher
Ah,
batchman. Like that's all running in his head. It's like, yeah, I did. Healthy living. So
he smiles and says, "It's good to see you. It's been so long, and it's
of
nice to
course.
see that you're finally in charge." Grabe, the other one I speak to, sobrang demanding. Keeps asking for everything and the moon and the stars, and you realize he's talking about your dad.
I'm like,
Yabang-yabang nun, porket yung anak niya nanalo dun sa kendo.
like,
Judo.
oh nga eh. Naalala mo yung pangalan niya.
You see him think for a moment, and then you think he's starting to realize now his mistake. Ah.
So let's talk about the project. Yes. Okay. It's like enough suffering for both of us.
Kasi baka January kaya. I think I can hit January. Biglang.
January. Okay. Before Chinese New Year.
Chinese New Year. You see him thinking.
Yeah, Chinese New Year on. I give him a date. It's actually around February.
Yeah.
As in clean out para malinis yung opening celebration.
Yeah.
Yung beginning.
Kaya
You know how
yan,
it
kaya
is.
yan. Ace, ikaw
Okay.
naman pala yan eh. Of course, kakayanin yan.
And I'm like, sige, fine. I'll get back to you on the laboratories. Come up with a draft plan and a new schedule. Basic schedule lang. I don't need the technical details or what. Tomorrow. We'll talk tomorrow afternoon.
He nods,
I see
shakes
you.
your hand vigorously, and as he's shaking it, it tells the rest of his team, guys, schoolmate ko to dati. And he starts broadcasting to the other construction workers that he knew you, that you were in the same school. Totally no mention. He used to make fun of you or chase you down campus with his friends, and they'd corner you and start, calling you names and stuff. The details of the bullying need not be expounded on, but the memories
Yep.
and the feelings are there.
And I'm like, yun, he bullied me inside campus kasi paglabas may guard eh. Patay kayo dun. I'm like,
Yarn! Alam!
I was like, you punks.
And
Tsaka
as
hindi ako
he-
pwede mag-retaliate kasi lolo ko nandito eh.
Yep. And you didn't also want to show your family you were getting into trouble, so you didn't even tell them also.
Yeah,
It was that weird.
So many things like I could have like.
So many
no.
chains. Guy
yeah,
heads
sure,
off
no
to his
problem.
construction friends. You wave at them and head off, and in your mind, ugh. Do you close your scene with a check on the lab, or do you go somewhere else?
Yeah, so here's what I'll do. I'll tell him like, hey, I'm gonna walk up to the lab. Make sure they know I'm there. And then I do like a quick walkthrough of the entire place first. So I know what
Thankfully,
to talk to the teachers about.
your cursory inspection of their work does look like they're at least really doing their work. It's not, it's not lazy work. It's not, oh my God, yung palang nagawa nila after all this time. And you're actually surprised looking at Peter. The former bully brought up to you concerns that kids might be in danger from construction. What has happened to him? There's that. Huh.
Hmm.
And
I
we
guess,
closed it. Yeah.
yeah, I guess certain things do change, sort of. Ano kaya nangyari sa Anyway, what happened to
we
you?
we move to our next scene, and our next scene goes back to Mars.
Hello.
Mars, would you like to explore one of your passions?
Oh,
Do you
yeah.
spend time with Sir Wang? Do you check out your trophy? Do you want a scene with family?
I actually, wait, gotta go through questions. Gotta show the chat what I got.
Yeah, this is again all building up to get the feel of the character in the world. So
Yes.
know,
Wait.
we
Very
were
nice.
more
Oh wait.
comfy in all the
W-
future sessions.
Whoops. We're in John's sheet. Hold on. Whoops. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Sorry. Something got me. Chips. Appreciate it. Wait, better shadow. Where's the passions? Where am I? Where is it? Where are
Oh,
you?
you lost the link?
No. I'm looking at it in the sheet. There, I found it. So, um, so my passion so far is help students protect things that
Yeah,
reflect.
the idea of focusing on your passions, both dark and normal, is just so you have a better feel of that emotional connection. So later in the game,
Yeah.
when you look for it again, you kind of know what you're looking for.
I just want to ask, somewhere down the line, it was mentioned that the trophy area is something
Mhm.
that is going to be like moved for the construction.
We
No.
don't know. We don't.
It's
We don't
going
know
to
yet if
be
John has agreed to do
No,
that.
because like here's
It
the
was proposed.
true.
if it was moved sometime in the future, wait, can it be like somewhere in the meeting, like in media res when it's being brought up? This is one of the areas that would be affected because he's gonna consult with the teachers, right? About the labs, about
Do you want that to be the scene? We can do that
yes,
as a
I would
scene.
like that scene because media res. She would be like, no, not the trophy area, no.
Okay. We'll have a joint scene then, John.
Yay!
Sure, go game.
We have the massive meeting. We have all the teachers, the professors. We have the board members present, and on one side of the room, and that side of the room somehow actually feels darker. It's like maybe there's less lights on in that area, or maybe the wall in that area is darker gray compared to the light white you guys are at. But that's where
Mm.
your father is seated right now with a number of the other board members. And then the two of you are on the other side of the room where you're not that far from Sir Wang.
Okay,
Mm.
nice.
Your father is seated and is staring across the room. He has this perpetual scowl on his face. It's a scowl that simply says, "You can do better." You know, anyone who looks at him, when he looks back, automatically they feel like your father is telling them, "You can do better."
Mm.
He has sat and stared at you with that scowl the whole time in the meeting and has barely said anything. One of the other board members, um, medyo medyo feeling I want to impress everyone. Is one of the board members, Razak Taib, um, more clearly not Chinese, but has gotten into the campus because of his educational connections and the recommendations of Sir Wang. But um, has slipped into the bureaucracy of school
Okay.
and has started to less focus on educating and now loves this Game of Thrones feel of trying to be in the board.
Uh,
Uh, Mr. Taib stands up and has been the spokesperson so far and brings Stan, you're saying there will be a delay of the construction from December to February.
December to January. So as you can see, I point at the Gantt chart that I put on the board with a breakdown of the construction details. As you can see, points. This is the best time frame that can be achieved.
I just don't understand. This is the magnificent Philippine Chinese school. We are all people of quality and prowess and potential. And you're telling me that we hired a substandard construction company? Maybe they're the ones we should change if they're going to delay our construction.
If you change the construction, the delays in changing contractors will add even more time. We'll have to go through this whole process. I'm like, and I don't think you want to go the delays even further. It's going to affect the school year and the students.
Taib shakes his head and you hear him give it's not meant for the mic but still loud enough to be heard. Hirap kasi pag nagmamagaling yung anak eh.
Oh my god.
I'm like, anyway. I do the okay. So I know this guy got on because of my grandfather, and I kind of
He was a good teacher in the past. He was really a good teacher.
I side eye to my grandfather.
Manok mo yan. Pinili mo yan.
You glance at
Pinasok ko yan, ha?
you glance at Sir Wang and you notice Sir Wang, his fingers are fidgeting the whole time at the table. It's a habit of his. It's like he's typing even if he's not in front of his computer. That tells he's deep in thought right now. And you also, Ali, have noticed Sir Wang doing this. You're wondering if this is Sir Wang preparing for a moment to say something or if he's just taking down notes.
So with the
Do you bring up now the trophy room rumor you overheard?
Assuming she stays quiet for the most part. And if it's okay with John, like, I don't know if he will continue the presentation and go through the room.
Yeah, I'll continue the presentation.
Because I feel like he would be like, anyways, moving on. And finish that.
Pretty much.
Precisely.
Pretty much.
So,
Pretty much. Oh yeah, he goes anyways, moving on. Yan na, ito.
so
Because we want to maintain the school, Ito yung proposed para ma-achieve yung timetable.
and then I was like eyeing this. Like at first I was like, why am I here? This feels more like parang they said na there's gonna be a dedicated meeting. I would have been home right now with the family, just get some groceries. Now I'm sitting here in this weird meeting na parang andito si Sir Wang. And then I was initially worried about Sir Wang when his hands were like, I wonder what he's saying. And I look at the presentation and I immediately look at the pristine PowerPoint where rooms to be like rooms to be demolished or rooms to be affected, trophy room, and I
temporarily.
I go at the moment I saw that halfway through the presentation while he's still talking. I go, no.
Everyone turns to look at you, hearing your outburst.
The trophy room?
Pardon me?
Not the trophy room. That's if like.
And I'm like, look, all of us need to make temporary sacrifices. It's not going to be done. Lalagyan lang natin yung cafeteria equipment there to continue serving the students while construction is ongoing.
It's still
Unfortunately, we'll have to cover up most of the trophies because that's gonna be a hazard otherwise. But it's only going to be until January, so.
But the
it should not be an issue.
Legacy. I goes legacy and like I go like that trophy room never changed. That never moved. Everything moved around it. But ngayon, the cafeteria, the kids must better if it was somewhere out in the open. Maybe like it's a lot easier to set up instead of. And then she just realizes like she's sounding like she's reflecting on like the trophies that are left there. Her
And
trophies.
you are also realizing, Ali, everyone is staring at you.
Oh,
That
um,
that realization that everyone is looking at you right now.
and she goes, sorry po. And then I sit down and I don't look at anyone like, oh shit. But I turn a glance at Sir Wang and I give like this apologetic look like, sorry po.
To your surprise, Sir Wang doesn't seem to be paying attention. His head is bowed, his fingers are still tapping, and just as you're about to process seeing Sir Wang not listening, all of you hear a voice you did not expect to hear in the room. Ace, you hear your father speak. Miss Camay is correct. We should not use the trophy room.
So are you saying we should delay the construction?
You see your father now turn his gaze to look straight at you. You see him slowly stand up, and of course, the other people in the board start standing. They're not sure why, but they're standing. Find an alternative so that your delayed construction finishes on time.
I'm like, I would like to remind you that I pull out a document. This construction was approved by you on this date. Your construction project, which I have to clean up.
Many are staring at you. Some are risking a glance at your father, but then looking at you again.
Delikado, delikado.
There is this weight of silence. No one knows who will speak next. Except, Ali, you hear a voice beside you. Oh my God, nag-aaway yung mag-ama. And you see your friend beside you. What's she doing in the meeting?
Oh my god,
Shit.
Daniel. Puta. I'm
Dan's
horrified.
beside you. Sorry, you were taking so long. I snuck inside. Kaaway
No,
sila.
bawal. No, you're not supposed to be here. I immediately grab her and like in the panic of like people will see a non-faculty in this meeting. This is a very private
But if you
meeting.
move, all the more people might notice.
I immediately shove her and then under the table like no. Like I shove her head way
Pushing her,
down.
you push her low. She stays low, and she's like, in her face, it's all kulang na lang siya as popcorn, and she's eagerly waiting to see what will happen next. Ace, your father turns to you. If you think the construction is the problem, I am willing to withdraw the to withdraw the project. After all, it is almost the 15th of September. That is when you fully take place and replace my position. Many are now looking at each other. It seems that announcement has not yet been made.
Oh my god.
And I'm like, let's see. The construction project in of itself is not the problem. We simply need to adjust. And I'm
The
like,
trophy room is the pride of our campus, of our university, of our school. It is the heart of everyone who has devoted their time and their lives in raising the name of this magnificent school. I do not expect someone who left to understand how important that is. But I expect you to find a way and not tarnish the efforts of everyone who stayed.
Yung mata ko, teka lang. It's like, "Arr."
You feel a sudden touch of support and realize your grandfather is holding your hand. He did not stand, he did not talk, but while standing there, you suddenly felt his hand ruled yours.
Hmm.
Oh my god! I see this.
Almost
I'm
Okay.
perhaps to
staring at
say,
this.
it's almost like to say, I'm with you, don't worry.
Okay. So Ace is like trying to get his bearings together. He's like, the honor of the campus is represented in the trophies. The trophies themselves, what's more important is the school itself, which this project is to help us upgrade our facilities, provide for better education for all the students, and ultimately, well, your trophies, people will add to them. This short term mindset is the problem. You have to look to the future. You have to look to the long term. Hindi puro pakitaan lang ng look, what matters is and he just goes into like what matters is the long term plan. What matters is the actual students that we produce. They're the ones who bring honor to us. Whether or not they have a fancy certificate or a trophy on the shelf. And like, sure, whatever. That's all good and all well and good. Diba? Pero you need to not lose sight of what really is more important. Of what is the
And we
basis for all of this glory and whatnot.
And we do our second roll for the night, charisma bureaucracy.
Woo!
Lord.
Let's go.
While
let's
you were
go.
giving your speech, Dan was telling you, Ali, oh my God, ang galing niya magsalita. Pwede siyang politiko.
Terrible. Anyway,
Puta.
charisma 3, bureaucracy.
Putang ina ka, Danny.
Dan forever.
Dan for life.
your friend with no filter.
Don't ever change Dan
Okay.
Dan.
So, playing around with the system.
You may spend a willpower point for one
Yeah.
automatic success
Let
to
us
add
do
to
a-
your roll.
Let's do a willpower because really important. I want this to pass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo.
This is
So you'll
for
just have
our
to- you'll just have to
ultimate
mark-
legacy.
Yeah, so you check off one of your temporary willpower because you
Done.
spend one of them, and then
Got
you
it.
now roll charisma bureaucracy, and then we'll add one more success to the final roll.
Okay. So that's a fun 2, 3, 4, 5. What is our difficulty? 6?
6, yeah.
Woo! Let's go!
have 4 successes.
Dapat lang. Dapat lang.
Kapit yung 6 eh.
Tanginang yan.
And as
Oh,
as you say your lines and you remind them that it's just material and it's temporary and this and that and the true pride and someone in the group ends up, and then next thing you know, people are clapping, people are nodding, some are even oh nga tama yan, speaking aloud in agreement.
it's so weird, but okay.
You're feeling odd about this moment because they're not really close to you, but I guess you struck a chord with your words.
Right.
Your father sees everyone that's reacting and looks at you. You see him give you a small nod, and then he starts leaving the room. His cohort start following, of course. And as people are starting to move, Mr. Taib goes to the stands up again and tells everyone, "Meeting adjourned. We shall continue if there's any further concerns." And then they head off.
Oh no. I immediately grabbed Dan and tried to discreetly leave.
Deep breath.
Dan pulls you. Wag mo na.
Yeah, so I
you
turn to my The
Don't you
grandfather.
find him? Don't you find him attractive? I always
Oh,
find guys who are confident
No,
attractive.
no, no, like no, no, that's not Dan. Sabi ko, Dan, no, that's my boss and ako yung may kasalanan, nag-away sila.
Oh my God! Can you imagine? Dan Dan Tan. Bagay.
Like, I immediately like flat out go, my girlfriend na yan. You have no chance.
Girlfriend pa lang. Kaya yan. And as you're dragging her away.
Like I'm
Um,
like, why am I friends with this person? How did I find this gremlin in my life? Oh God.
because she has no filter and you're like appreciating the honesty, I guess.
Like, oh no. But yeah.
Ace,
psychological mouthpiece.
yeah, the things you never get to say, you know she'll say. Sir Wang turns to you, Ace, and tells you, it's all right. He needed to hear it. He had no right telling you that.
Well, it's that.
You see him suddenly look up as people are leaving, as if he realized something, and then he grabs your arm gently to point you.
Oh.
Miss Kamay, can you please bring Miss Kamay over?
Oh shit! I'm like halfway there. We're
I'm like,
your friend, bringing up
of
friend.
course. Sige, one moment.
You're
I
maneuvering through the
turn and I'm
crowd.
like,
Yeah, she's a bit far, so you have to like catch up.
yeah. So I kind of jog over.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah, go.
Miss Kamay.
I immediately
Miss Ali.
freeze. But oh shit!
A word
Like
with you.
the immediate
A word with
social anxiety of just like, oh no, it's my fault. It's because I'm the one who brought up about the trophy room. I am so dead. I'm gonna have like you just see this like she pales and that flash before her eyes like, oh god, I'm gonna lose my job. Oh my god, I'm not gonna see Sir Wang anymore. I'm not gonna be part of this
And
magnificent school.
and to your
And I'm like,
surprise, Dandan is
Miss
gone.
Kamay.
There's no sign of Dandan beside you right now.
Ninja tong ninja friend.
Oh my God.
Stage exit si friend. Magaling.
And I'm
Like,
like,
iniwan ako.
and my character's like, teka, di ba may...
Never.
Anyway,
I was like, you saw
come
nothing.
over, please.
I don't want to get in
I
trouble.
swore there was someone beside you.
No. You did not perceive that I did. There's no strangers here. It's just me. I immediately like go past Ace, but I stop, and then I turn and I look apologetic and like, I'm really sorry about my outburst. And
Uh,
but if there's a way,
he's like,
can I know where they're putting the trophies? Baka pwede ilagay sa library or something or somewhere safe. I don't want the trophies in
we'll talk about it, okay? The details for each room, the trophy room, the trophy hall, pag-usapan natin. But I do need the hall. So, anyway, Father needs to talk to you. Come on, let's go. So I walk past her and then
I walk back timidly, just thinking where I don't want my trophy to be in like one of the bodegas to rot. Like I want it out there. Like I'm
Of
trying
course.
I'm trying to think where can it be placed for everyone to see. Would they put it in the dojo?
The two of you easily rejoin Sir Wang. Most of the people have started to leave. Others are still lingering, but they're like talking in small pockets, not paying attention to the three of you. Sir Wang smiles at you, Ali, as you arrive. He seems to always try to give you this reassurance that you deserve to be here. You know, he always has that face whenever you see him na parang he's like, oh, I know you're thinking na naman, no, you're here. There's that reassurance that you always feel the moment he sees you. As you arrive and you see him welcoming you, he turns first to Ace and tells Ace, Ace, you you remember Miss Kamay?
Yeah. She used to study here. Couple of years, couple of batches below me. So I rattled off a few school details.
Good. Then what I'm about to say should not come as a surprise to you. No, I'm not pairing you off. That's your mother's job. I want you both to join me for a small dinner
Ah,
Sunday.
Po? Sige po.
After you've done whatever family things you have to do, Ace, make sure that Miss Kamai finds her. Pick her up if you must. Fine, but I want her to visit me as well. I want to speak with the two of you privately about the future of Magnificent Campus. And I
okay.
guess you could say my future na rin.
Sige po. I'll tell my
Sure.
I'll tell my mom and my dad na I'll be at your place again. And I smile like, alam naman nila kung saan ka nakatira. So,
Sir Wang actually smiles and brings up your parents' names. How is ano and ano?
ay, okay naman po. Like, nangamusta man sila. Happy man sila that I'm working and doing okay.
And then Sir Wang actually gives a small smirk and points. Oh, I see you're wearing the glasses. Ano, they helped?
Like she adjusts a bit like, oh, thank you. Like, my frames broke that one time. And I tripped sa stairs. Ikaw pa yun nakakita. You saw me trip. It was so embarrassing.
Ah,
He shakes his head and turns to you, Ace. Ay, the two of you are so alike. It's almost as if you're siblings. Always in the library. But the truth is, the legacy of the school, it's not in the hands of the old people. People like me, we're already footnotes in that legacy. We'll talk more on Sunday.
okay.
Ito.
What time?
Let's make it dinner around 7,
Okay.
Oh,
6:30.
do you want me to bring the usual? Like she usually brings dessert from her mom.
You see him smile. Well, my doctor will say no, but I will always say yes.
Sige, sige. I'll tell
And
Ma to prepare the. I think she's making maha blanca for the weekend, so I can bring some.
Hmm.
I look at
Mahaplang.
my grandfather like, you can't eat that many.
I will eat as many as I want. It's coconut. It's healthy. He smiles.
Uh, sure. Planning how to sneak off a few so he doesn't overeat. Anyway,
Anyway, so this trophy room. He looks at Ali and then at you, Ace. Let's go look at it.
okay. We head over.
The three of you walk to the trophy room. While walking, it it's a comfortable walk. There's
Yeah.
no sense of worry when you're with Sir Wang. It's despite the huge age difference and the familial tie, he always felt like a friend to both of you, which sometimes clashes with your other feelings, but always comes back. Parang there is always a comforting aura to him that you could never really explain. So Ace, while walking towards the construction site, when you first saw Ali in the campus, I remember seeing you made that face.
I'm like, what face?
You see him looking at you na parang, let it out, don't hide it na.
Hide what?
You were hoping that you wouldn't see anyone from your school years.
Ah, uh, it's fine.
Uh, I'm like, is he saying this while I'm in earshot?
Yes, while the two
Oh
of you are
my god!
walking.
I'm immediately it's I immediately like I try to make myself as small as possible. I am not here. I
It's
am
not
like I'm
from.
la la
We're
la.
not the same year. It's
I know. You also didn't want to bump into anyone from your year, the earlier or next year, because you didn't have a good time in school when you were young.
uh
That's why you were so good at kendo. You had so much to project outwards.
and I'm like, hindi naman. It was fun. I liked it. You know. Um I'm sure we have some sort of martial heritage back in the past. Didn't we have that ancestor who was a general or something?
Eh,
I'm just like,
in this country, everyone has an ancestor who was this or that because everyone's related. See,
well,
tur- turns to you, Ali,
Uh,
and you have to stop acting like you're still a student. You are one of us now. You are a professor. You are an instructor. You should stop seeing me as your professor.
but sir, here naman, the it's it's hard if that's like I have so much respect for you, and um Lily looks up at Ace like doesn't know how to like yeah I have respect both of you po, and I know I'm a teacher now, but it won't change the fact that you were my teacher first.
Well, respect doesn't have to mean you place yourself lower.
Hindi naman po. I just know, especially after today, I know my place po.
You both, with him, step out from the corridor to the open area near the park where the construction is, leading towards the trophy room. Um, the night is loud, and it's like the insects are all abuzz as you walk in this um, silent night towards the construction site. It's hard to tell if it's crickets or, you know, the infamous salagubang of the Philippines.
it's something.
Walking down the park with him, smaller stories are passed around, funny anecdotes, spilling the drink when you were once offering him something, him mispronouncing a name in front of the campus and everyone laughing. Little stories that are a shared history between the three of you. Um, in the distance, you could see the tower of the school that shows the clock. That one long tower that has the clock face. Um, Unfortunately, the clock has been broken since the last typhoon. So the R hand is missing, and the minutes hand is perpetually pointing at the number 4.
Oh, that would not fly. Tatanggalin dapat yun. Oh, like,
See
oh.
that, and I'm like, see, that's also something. That's also why we need to renovate. It's like
Yes,
that's
exactly.
No.
that's no good.
No bueno.
That is
It's like, no, no,
that
no.
is no good.
Baka,
And as the three of you
it's like,
are now within eyesight of the trophy room, you are now walking past the barriers with the ropes, where the more dangerous crane and construction area is. As the
Before we
three of
walk
you,
in, I'm
yeah,
like, checking around. Like, teka, ah. And I'm like, if there's anyone still working, hello.
Oh, good call. Um,
Hey, good,
John,
good.
for that, you can have ace roll perception and alertness. Your difficulty is 8 because there is no clear light sources in this part of the building.
Oh no.
How about you, Mars?
4.
Is your character doing anything?
I would actually, as they're walking, um, is like she would do small talk actually with Sir Wang.
Nothing.
Of
Thank you, John. I'll
like,
get back to you in a bit. I'll get back to the roll in a bit. Sorry, continue, Mars.
No
it
problem.
would be like, is there a way to at least take the hand? Parang it's how long has it been like that? It's medyo like she kind of like just says, di pa rin at least napatanggal yung isang hand para balance instead of naka-4 lagi.
You see that, when the wind blows, it kind of rattles, and then sometimes it swings the opposite way, but then it
Always goes back to 4.
so maybe that's why it kind of was not that noticed then, or it might be just because no one really looks at the clock in the tower anymore. Ever
That's true.
since people have watches on their phone.
Yeah, it's smart. The smart
That's true.
watches again. But I would just can I do a bit of like alertness, or is there a way na parang, because Sir Wang is old. I will immediately think about the old man's safety. So it's like the path we're treading at
Yeah.
least safe. What can I roll?
Sounds good. Sounds good. That can be perception, and instead of alertness, I'll put that under awareness.
Oh no, we're bad
only-
start.
Only because there is no light sources. You're
Ah.
not using a flashlight or anything.
Okay.
So it's really more you're getting a gut feel if the ground seems safe.
For Sir Wang. Okay. That's a 4 dice. First roll. Woo, let's go.
Go.
Let me
What do we have?
dice.
And just alerting everyone, we are at 9:30. We are in the last 30 minutes of the night session.
Okay.
Hi. Gotcha.
Dice results. I'm not seeing the numbers. There. 8, 9, 10. Ah!
Wow.
Pag si Sir Wang mas.
It's it's like ninja moves when you suddenly raise your hands, blocking both of them.
Do I reroll the
And-
10? Do I reroll the 10?
No need. You scored way more than expected, to be honest. With your foot, you tap one of the metal platforms on the ground, and true enough, it rattles and tips into the hole.
Oh.
I'm like, who left this here?
That's buti na lang. Like is there another route to the
Yeah, there's routes naman, but basically the route you were taking, buti you spotted it.
yeah, I was like,
There's
"Sir,
a sudden
huwag tayo."
gasp and a gasp of shock in the construction area, and as your eyes turn to the sound, you see coming into view. Of course, you know it's him, Mr. Pong, construction guy.
Peter.
The guy in the white
Peter.
construction outfit stands up. Ay, nako, buti na lang you didn't fall in, sir. He hurries there and starts pulling out those thick gloves so that he can handle the metal sheet and not hurt himself.
Like, someone left this. Look, just maosha kayo niyan, ha?
He
I
looks at
said-
you weirdly. Sir, wag naman. And he starts flexing to lift the metal. So there was a hole in the ground. They put that metal plate. You know what they do sometimes on the road when there's construction.
Yeah.
But I
yeah.
guess because of the ground, it shifted and it slid in. So now he's pulling it back up. And you're actually surprised he's strong enough to do this.
Yeah,
It normally
that's
is a
hard to...
Yeah, that's 3 to 4 guys to lift that metal plate. But he's doing it alone.
Wow. Yes, I take note of that. It's like, wow.
Lakas nito, ah.
Seeing him as he starts pushing it up, Sir Wang turns to you, Ali. You should trust that. You should trust that sixth sense of yours. Imagine if I fell down there. Nako, I would have
Oh.
broken my hip.
Ay, wag naman. Wag naman, sir. Wag niyo yun.
More, broken more than a hip.
Yeah,
He looks at you. I'm not that old. And I practice Tai Chi. He smiles. Of course he doesn't, but you know.
Oh, I'll say, oh, pwede na tayo dumaan doon. Like, ito yung route na dadaanan ko when I go from my class to the trophy. I like,
Tai
when,
Chi with your mahjong fingers.
Wang looks at you and laughs and takes your arm and then holds your shoulder, Ali, as he parang, sige, lead the way.
ay, dito tayo.
And as the three of you divert, um, the three of you hear a voice in the construction area. Ano? Peter, balik na. And you all glance and you think that sounds familiar.
Ooh.
So I don't know who is it.
Staring into the darkness, someone gasps upon realizing there's still people there, and she ducks back behind the construction pile.
Is it Dan?
No, it's not me.
Ay!
Shit.
It's like that. And then I realize I'm still with Sir Wang and like, oh no, this get me in trouble. I'm like, I immediately like, go rush to where she is and be like, what? It's more or less like, Dan,
Oh my! What are you doing here?
like, what are you doing here? Oh, it's already so late, and you left me. Like, I won't say the last part, but iniwan mo ako dito. Dito ka na naman. Like, there's
She's looking at you. She's ducked behind some of the piles, and she's pulling her jacket back as she's telling you, "Eh, sabi mo ko, di I go." And then I see this man. Syempre, Beauty and the Beast.
The hell?
Peter.
But okay.
OOC. Peter, Dan, you deserve
Do we hear
better.
this? Do we hear
Dan's
this?
looking at you, her eyes widening. Huh? Peter Pong? Si Peter Pong yan? And while she's going through the shock of that, Wang grabs your arm, Ace, and tells you, sometimes I wonder why you don't have friends like that.
I have friends.
You're always too serious in life. Even your girlfriend is too serious.
And I'm like, my girlfriend is too. My girlfriend is too serious. Like I look at him. What? My girlfriend?
He
Is
looks
too
at you.
serious?
Wasn't that why you didn't push through last year when she was supposed to visit for Christmas? What was the reason? She's not ready, or the family's not ready, something like that. Someone was not ready.
She's ready.
He
She's
looks
ready.
at you. This time,
Yeah. She's very ready.
so are you ready?
Yeah. Yeah.
He squeezes your arm playfully and whispers, "Baka naman I can become a great grandfather before time runs out."
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
He
Sure. Of course.
smiles, and as you walk with him further in the park, you realize Sir Wang never made these kind of jokes before.
that board scene was I guess unlocking things. So, yeah.
Maybe, but he was, he was always the level-headed, humorous, comforting guy. But he was never the type to joke about if people will have children or this and that. It was almost as if those were too uncouth for him to make fun of.
And I'm thinking, naghanap ka lang ng apo, no?
Which, again, is very uncharacteristic of him. Your parents, yes, he hid it, yan.
Yeah.
But Sir Wang didn't even before care. In fact, he used to tell you, don't have don't have children, don't have a son, children. Spread your seed, and then it's very very Shakespearean, very melodramatic. Make love with every woman and indulge in the world of passion and art. He was that sort of inspiration for you before.
Right. Right.
Cutting back to Dandan real quick. Syempre, Beauty and the Beast. She smiles.
It's Peter Pong.
Oh my god, that's Peter. Peter Pong.
This is
Kaya naman pala.
I give her the look like ew. For like it's like this is the first time I've actually like I've been polite for her the entire time, but this is Peter Pong. This is like ew. This is,
Okay lang yan. It's the year 2024 na, no? We don't have to be choosy.
and then I give her that look of if we were in the same year, if he went to the same class as us, he would pick on me. You'd actually go for someone who would pick on your friend, your best friend.
Ali.
Oh, at
Not
least I know
everything
that.
has to be about our high school years.
That's not the point. Actually, avoids the topic. That's not the point. It's Peter Pan. He's a horrible person. Why would you go out with him?
Is it my fault na gumwapo siya when he got older?
Hindi gumapo yung laman loob niyan, I'm sure.
Hell, at least hindi tayo umabot doon. Sige, let's go. She gets her jacket. And then, wait lang, I'll leave my number. And then,
I'm like, I immediately grab her. This is the one time like I've been assertive and be like, no, it's Peter Pan.
and you can tell she's like giggling the whole time as you drag her away.
No.
She's partly doing this to get a rise from you. As the two of you are moving past and Peter still is adjusting the metal sheet and Sir Wang and Ace is there in the distance, the wind blows. The cicadas go silent. The arrow in the clock swings and rattles on the floor. The crane shifts in the wind. Bink! A metal cord breaks. And suddenly, from silence, noise. And from noise, both of you please roll willpower.
Okay.
Roll what?
Willpower.
Your willpower. You roll your permanent rating of willpower.
That would be 5. 5.
Mine is
1, 2, 3, 4,
6.
5.
Or
Oh my god, fail. Isa lang. Isa lang. Oh, delikado. Oh. Well, you know, you have
The
to...
thing falls. Massive metal construction material falls towards where all of you are. The shock and the terror freezes you all. Ace, adrenaline kicks in. You can move. As you see the whole thing falling and realize anyone can possibly be in danger. It's hard to tell who it will hit. There's no time to calculate. Move. What do you do?
I push away my grandfather into a direction I know is out of the.
Your hands shove into Sir Wang. And as he's falling backwards, his eyes widening, he lied, he does practice Tai Chi. His hand suddenly slams and grabs yours, pulling you with him.
Yeah.
The two of you collapse to the grass away from the falling metal. And Ali, as the metal closes in and you feel everything grow cold, your hands grow clammy, your legs feel deadened. You see Dandan looking at you, oblivious to what's happening. Your adrenaline kicks in. You can act. What do you do?
I immediately, in this panic of, I just want to make sure this annoying person, like, immediately, like, everything just pushed. It's just instinct. Just trying to get her out of harm's way.
So you shove her back to the construction piles?
I just push at a random direction because this is just instinct. I just push. I don't know where it's going, but at least I'm giving her as much distance away.
Sounds perfect. Your hands push against her, and she's still in the. Syempre, you feels her. She feels your push as you shove her, but then you feel suddenly behind you, you're being shoved. And as the two of you are suddenly face against face, hitting the grass, you feel behind you a heavy weight as Peter Pong lands on top of you. The metal falls, but thanks to the construction piles near where they were making out, it does not crash on top of you both. The silence, the shock. Am I still alive? Have I lost a limb? Is everything intact? Ace, you're the first to get back on your feet. What do you do? There's still some dust clouds. You see the construction stuff that fell.
Uh, I checked my grandfather first.
Turning to him, you see him. Ah, I'm okay. I'm okay. Ali, check on Ali.
I semi-ignore him and I pat him really quickly before I go like, okay. And then
Quickly checking your sheet. You have yes, you have a nominal knowledge of medicine, so you don't find any broken bones or any jutting out. You see a few scrapes, but nothing to be serious about. You think
Okay.
he's okay?
All right. I look at the construction site and try to find where they are.
Dust clearing. You start to realize the metal thing that's not flat on the ground, and then the few other things that are scattered: the metal rope, the hook, and the system. And as the dust starts to part, that's when you can see. Everyone calls it the triangle of life. When something hits a standing structure, creating that small gap, and you see the three people there, Peter and the two women.
I'm like, whew.
The
Are you
amount.
guys all right? Hello.
I,
Peter is in front of you, Ali, and asks, "Are you okay?"
si Sir Wang, okay lang siya? Like, immediately, like, I immediately fear for the old man.
Yeah,
And as you're trying to look,
he's fine. He's
Peter's still on
fine.
top of you. You can't move. Yeah, Ace, you walk towards them.
Uh, yeah. I head over and say, we gotta get out. This place is not safe.
Do you try pulling them out? Do you try working on the bar that fell? What do you
No,
do?
I just slip them straight out. Like, I'm gonna pull on you. Don't uh make a fuss of things.
You hear Peter. Start with Ali. I think most of this thing is on my back right now.
Oh, hey, sure,
No,
sure.
no, no, since
Brace yourself.
You see him kinda flex to create an arch for a little bit of gap from Ali.
I go
Okay,
But
to
as he does that, that's when you notice the white jumpsuit suddenly is starting to stain with red.
we
I
gotta go. We gotta do
Mm.
this quick.
Si Danny,
So I start with Ali.
Dan,
So
no,
when
Dan.
I
I'm
pull
like,
you out,
Where's Dan in this situation?
Dan is below you, and you notice she's not responsive. She's like tulirong shock. She's like, oh my god, something just happened, and humahabol pa yung utak niya.
so I'm like, okay,
Danny,
So
Ali.
she's a dead weight on the ground.
Dan.
So I,
I like, I ignore Ace for a moment. Just go like, Dan. Alis na tayo. Dan. Like, I'm
Uh,
freaking out. Dan.
yeah,
um, Ace,
while
do
she's
you try to wait for Ali to be responsive, or do you try to pull her anyway?
I snap my finger. Ali,
Po,
we need to act. We need to act. You need to get help. I'm gonna pull you out.
si Dan. Si Dan.
Yes, you need to get help. I'll pull you out. You look for extra people. There's more workers here. Look for them. Bring them here.
You hear you hear the oddest thing from Dan Dan. You hear her mutter, Napanaginipan ko to. Continue.
Oh, I'm like ignoring your line, but it's just that.
Yeah.
Sige po.
Okay,
Like,
ready?
I
1, 2.
shakily extend my hands and like try to reach for Ace.
Okay.
With
Pull.
hands, so your effort, your effort, you're giving effort to help get pulled out.
Okay.
Both players, please both roll wits athletics.
Wits athletics.
Wits? Interesting.
Yes, wits.
Wits is 4. Oh, 5.
I guess that's fine. Okay.
Okay. And 5. Alright, okay, let's go. Let's go with that.
Wits athletics.
No!
Oh my God, John, what did you roll, John?
I rolled a
Oh my
0.
God, Mars, what did you roll?
0.
Wait. Can I add willpower to this?
Sadly, that's all. The rule state it's before the roll.
Yeah, it has to
I
be
forgot.
before.
Arms clasp, pull, and as he slides out from between Peter and Dan, Peter starts to drop to his knees. The metal slides further down on him. Yes, he was taking the weight when it fell, it seems. Dan, under Peter, is looking at Peter and she mutters, "How did I dream this? This is when it happens." Peter looks at Dan. "What are you talking about?" in his head, but he's not saying it aloud. The two of you are pulled free from the collapsed area. Camera pulls up, tracks upwards. And as we track upwards, we see the broken clock, but we continue tracking upwards. And as we continue tracking upwards, we see the crane. We see the metal rope on the crane. We see it unfurling, reaching the end, and then slipping.
The dice gods wanted this. Let it be known.
We're doing this now.
Yeah,
That
you,
makes that worse.
Ace,
no, I died.
Ace,
Yeah.
your eyes open. And as your eyes open,
I just
there is
being in the area now.
something covering your face. It feels cold, it feels wet, it feels thick, and as you reach up with your hands to touch it, it it's it's like it's like a slab of gelatin that's wrapped over your face.
I try to wipe it off.
It's think of a jellyfish that's around 2 inches thick.
Bless you.
That's how massive it feels on your face as you're pulling and as you're prying. The sounds are muted, the light is muted, and you're starting to panic when you realize you might be breathing in and out the same air inside this gelatin casing in your head. It's not getting off. Please roll strength and athletics to tear it free from your head.
Sure. Okay, it's a 5. Yo. 2 success.
As you grab it, you pull, and as you pull, you hear screaming. And we cut to you, Ali.
Oh, yep.
You
What?
hear screaming and your eyes open. And as your eyes open, you see what seems to be a white ceiling. You see bright lights shining down on you. As you turn your head to the sound of the screaming, you can hear more voices, footfalls, hurried actions. Um, it's a white curtain with melons. You know the fruit?
Yeah.
It's a very summer motif melons as the decor of the curtain. But then you can start to hear familiar words. They sound like those medical dramas you are watching. You know, calm him down. Do we need to sedate? No, it's all right. Just hold him down. It's a nightmare. Wake up. Ace, Mr. Tan, wake up, Mr. Tan. What do you do, Ali?
I I kind of try to look around and see where, like, who's talking and what. I look down at myself, like, what's happening, and then I mutter
You have
weakly,
a
like,
dextrose needle,
uh,
and as you look down, you realize your head is somewhat restrained. There's a brace around your neck, and you feel there's some pressure in the back of your head.
I go, dan, dan. I'm like immediately checking if my friend is safe.
Curtain opens, and you see Dandan looking at you. Oh my God, you're okay! She hugs you. She kisses you on the cheek. She is hugging you tight, and then the curtain slightly parted open. You see Ace on the next journey. He's sitting up, he's clawing at people, and they're trying to control him.
Oh,
In the ensuring waking from a traumatic dream, um, he's undone one of the bandages he has, and you could see this large gash with stitches on the back of his head, nape all the way to his shoulder. You are struggling to remember what's happening, but Ace, you are seeing all these people right now. It's like straight from Jacob's ladder. It's people with blue masks all holding their hands at you. But then as you're looking around, you're starting to realize this is the school's medical facility. And they're telling you to calm down.
It's probably a
I'm like,
very cramped
uh,
medical space then. It's like, how's
I
everybody
point
doing?
at one of the people. You, who are you?
The the professor looks at you and takes off the mask, and you see it's, of course, it's Taib. Sir, it's me. It's Sir Taib. You are you do you remember the accident? The crane fell on you both. And that's when you realize you're feeling a very warm thing on your
Oh,
shoulder and back. And as you touch it, your hand's drenched in blood. We broke stitches! They start going around you to help you lie down again. Do you let them?
did you call emergency?
Very good, very good.
Taib looks at you. For the two of you? Of course.
Okay. And I'm like, sige, go.
As they deal with it, you feel them, trying to stitch back the wound closed.
Sakit.
He starts telling you how lucky you were, how when the cable fell, it was a glancing blow. It struck you both, and it seems the shock knocked you both down.
Phew.
It was a lot of blood loss, intense lacerations. Dandan's holding you close, Ali. But you're alive! That's what matters! You're alive! My dream was wrong! Oh my God, nangyayari pala yon. Your dreams can be so near to true.
But, ano nangyari sa dream? Ano nangyari sa dream mo? Like, what happened?
In my dream, kasi the metal thing fell and I didn't want to tell you kasi nateki ka, your head flew off. Buti na lang it didn't happen that way. I don't know what I'll do without you.
I kind of look towards the direction of Ace, like, this. I'm assuming if we're in the medical area, someone's stitching up. Like, is this really happening right now? She'd like to assess if, like, is this really happening? Or maybe it's all a bad dream. I fell asleep in the meeting place, in the
You
meeting room.
lean back, your mind is racing with all these things. Is there one way you can test if this is just a dream? What
Yeah.
do you do?
Uh, I, I would. Uh, there's a morbid thought. Um, the injuries I have.
Mm-hmm. So
Do
you
I
reach
feel?
back, you're feeling the stitches.
Yeah. How painful is it?
It doesn't feel painful at all.
I
But then
would.
you realize it might be still anesthesia.
I intrusive thought. I kind of want to put my finger inside that stitch, like,
Yeah, well, I think that's okay for the game. You start, your finger slides into the gap trying to see if you'll feel anything, but we'll not go into too much detail on that. Ace, we cut back to you, and as you are feeling them stitching you back up, in the corner, you see Sir Wang. And you realize Sir Wang is not alone. You see
Who's he
your
with?
father with him, and you see they are crying.
Eh?
You cock your head. Your father pala knows how to cry.
I I speak up and I'm like, buhay pa ako.
Someone sits in front of you, and as your eyes focus, you see Peter. Sir, so may trabaho pa ba ako? I think we can end the session there.
Like, yeah.
shit! Just me
Yes, you're
fingering
still
my
alive.
fingering
You
my
are
barbecue
still
stitch.
alive.
That's nice.
Holy shit! I was just like, when we were going to the construction, I was like, oh god, I feel okay. How are we gonna die? And then like, there's so many. That's not fair. Yeah, don't worry. You can catch us in the next Thursday. You don't have to wait the next 2 Thursdays. You'll see us next Thursday and find out if we're really alive or dead. Was it all a dream? The dream actually come true. We don't know. I don't even know. I'm mind fucked right now. I'm fingering my wound right now, like, if I need to feel something. Oh my god.
Back of your head. Back of your head. You're not monster.
In the back of the head, I'm like, is that real? And the fact that said, oh, your head just flew right off. I'm like, I don't know if I should still be here. It's a crane. But yeah.
We have 5 more sessions to find out in the coming sessions.
Yeah, are we alive? Are we dead? How we deal with death? How we're gonna deal with this freak accident? We'll find out in the next session. Yeah, basta naman. How are you dyan? Basta naman. How is you? How is you, fam? No, I was asking John, how are you?
Oh, sorry. You want? I thought we were gonna do that after goodbyes, but
Oh,
yeah,
wait,
we can
I'm-
check in. We can check in on each other first.
Yeah. Well, I'm ad-libbing
John?
while I'm looking for somebody to raid. Go.
John, how are you? How did you find the session?
It's fun. It's fun.
Yeah.
Fun session.
So-
Great session.
Yeah, so you can see, so my approach is very, very TV series feels. We jump scenes, we go through lots of dialogue. We roll only when necessary. So I hope it's not too jarring an experience for you.
No. It's all good.
Yeah.
Personally, I'm loving Dan already. She's such a hoot to have in this game.
A fun fact, I have a character named Danny who's just kind of like the same energy. There's no filter.
Maybe that's what I'm tapping into without realizing it.
Bro, I don't
Yeah.
know Mr. Wang, but what's Oblivion about? Someone's asking while I'm trying to raid out to somebody. What is Oblivion?
Yeah, well, Wraith the Oblivion in a standard game is about players playing characters who have passed but not moved on. And
Yeah.
with their passing, they discover that there is more crap to deal with because just because life has ended doesn't mean your problems have. There's the hierarchy, which is like the government of the underworld, and it wants to run things a certain way. There are the heretics, which are the people who are up against it. So it's sort of like in Vampire, you have the neonates and the elders. So that sort of structure also exists in the underworld, and there's more to it. But this is our cozy Wraith game.
Yeah,
So
definitely
we will
cozy.
see how dark it gets.
Yeah.
Very slow dip into the darkness.
Yeah.
Yeah, but would you agree, John, that it is cozy to some extent?
Yeah.
For classic World of Darkness, this is very cozy.
Yeah. It's pretty nice.
But you can imagine how heavy it's gonna get soon enough.
Yeah, it could. I like it. I like the. I like the. I like the things. I gets ko yung mga how do you say, emotional resonances that you kind of pluck on in a game like this. Although kudos to you for doing a lot of the setup,
Okay.
set piece stuff. It's really nice.
Yeah.
So
All
I
right,
appreciate it.
we'll be rating out now to the Andrew Cops who's doing a horror game. Lots of emotional damage, yes, but send my love
There
to
is.
Andy, and we'll see you guys on next Thursday. Bye bye.
Yep. See you next Thursday.
Job.